It's quite simple. When leaders talk about diversity, too many people still reduce it to optics. You know, the photo, the panel, a statement. You can't forget this one, a seat at the table with no real voice behind it. But real legacy leadership understands that diversity is not decoration. It is a discipline. It is a decision to stop building teams that only think one way, move one way, and solve problems from one limited lens. Here is the truth. Legacy leadership gets stronger when difference is presented and protected. When people bring different lived experiences, different instincts, different ways of seeing risk, opportunity, culture, and people, the room changes. The conversation changes. The outcome changes. And let's be honest, some leaders do not fear division. They fear disruption. They fear what happens when people who think differently challenge systems that were comfortable, familiar, and unchecked. But this is exactly where stronger leadership is born. Not in sameness, in sharpening, in stretching, and being willing to hear what you did not come in thinking. Inclusive leadership is not weak. It is not soft. It is mature leadership. It takes strength to lead people you do not need to control. And it takes vision to build something bigger than your own reflection. And of course, it takes humility to admit that the best answer in the room may not come from the loudest voice or the highest title. So no, diversity is not extra. It is how wise legacy leaders protect innovation, strengthen trust, and build what can actually last. Because we all know the truth, how diversity is often discussed as though it is a public relations goal, a branding strategy, or a cultural accessory. Strong leaders know better. Diversity is a performance strategy. It expands perspective, exposes blind spots, and strengthens the quality of decision-making in ways homogeneous environments often cannot. When leadership teams are built from the same experiences, the same assumptions, and the same patterns of thinking, they may move quickly, but they do not always move wisely. They can miss people, miss risk, and miss innovation. They can also miss what the market, the team, or the moment is trying to actually reveal. Inclusive leadership interrupts this pattern. It creates room for stronger insight, stronger dialogue, and better outcomes. Diversity challenges leaders to move beyond comfort and into clarity. And that is where real growth happens. Not when everyone agrees too quickly, but when the right voices are present, respected, and allowed to shape the direction. This is not about checking boxes. It is about building organizations that are more adaptive, more credible, and more capable of long-term success. Because when people feel seen, heard, and meaningfully included, they engage differently. They contribute differently, and they help the mission move further. The strongest legacies are not threatened by difference. Those legacy leaders know how to harness it. They understand that leadership is not about creating more copies of themselves. And this is why diversity is not decoration. It is a leadership advantage. And leaders who understand that do not just build teams, they build a legacy.